about you, Talinata Brava. Mahalo and welcome all blessed Brava babies to this perfectly attuned transmutation on a Sunday entitled Be Brava Live, Own Your Orbit. Pause for working farm. My darlings, today we are speaking about your ownership. Oh, your atmosphere. It is your responsibility, the air you breathe, the quality, the texture. Is it full of anxiety, joy, humor, paranoia? Be fucking honest. What is the quality of the atmosphere with which you orbit? My darlings, each and every one in your web, in your sphere, in your magnetic attraction, it's a direct mirror reflection, and it is showing you exactly the whom, do the fuck, the feelings that you fucking evoke. Okay, cuties? The feelings you evoke. We are powerful beyond measure, as bitch Marianne Williamson would say. Yes, I just quote her. And we're going to speak exactly to, my darlings, how to own our fucking orbit. Okay, cuties? So, to quote Oprah quoting someone else, I funnel all quotes through Oprah. The sales funnel Oprah is where I get my intel. So she was quoting her friend. Pretty women and rich men never hear the truth. Ain't that the truth, cuties? All right? Pretty women and rich men never hear the truth. And that is just one example of how our planetary system, our orbit, affects the reality we invoke. Okay, cuties? So in the movie Liar, Liar, I'm dating myself. In the movie, okay, one cute tip here, friends. If you want to not attract fuckboys into your orbit, just tell them how exactly old you are. I had a man just walk away from me. I was sitting in the cafe. He comes up. He's like, he's just chatting me. He's just chatting me. That's what they do in Hawaii. People like talk to each other. Like they're like, oh, humans. So he's just chatting me up. And I happened to say, well, I've got a few years on you. And then I told him my age. And he just laughed. Like, in disbelief. Thank you, mahalo. I told him it's because I don't have children. When you don't push them out, you don't raise them, you stay young. So he basically laughed and then found, like, I think there was maybe a sentence or two left in the convo, and then he just walked out of my orbit. Okay, cuties. And then another gentleman came and sat next to me who I'm not just saying this to be funny, his BO was astonishing. And yes, she hasn't worn deodorant since Corona, but also, my darlings, you can't smell yourself, so who cares? And I literally don't smell. Like, I hate to brag, but I don't smell. So he sits next to me with a stench, and I had just gotten my food, and my darlings, I'm like I don't know what kind of diet this is, but I need to be around people who I would actually, like, fuck to eat comfortably. Like, I literally, like, I'm that judgmental around whom I can actually ingest food around. I don't know, get at me if you're similar, but the process of eating is it's such an intrusive experience that if somebody comes into my orbit who smells bad, I can't actually eat. So I had to get a doggy bag and leave. And I felt so bad because the whole time I felt like I was judging him. My darlings, this is all to say our orbit, our vibe attracts our tribe. Yes, maybe it's a reflection that I do need to wear a deodorant. Also, do dogs come near you? Do dogs come sit next to you? Cuties. Tells you a lot. Dogs love to come sit next to her. Okay, darlings. So where was I? Oh, so in the film Liar, Liar from 1995. I don't know. It's a good year. From 1995, Jim Carrey. Jerry Maguire. Oh my God, he's always on my mind. I will always love that. It's the best movie ever made. Jim Carrey hit Liar, Liar. He gets in an elevator with this bitch with, like, big tits. And she's like, everyone was so sweet to me here. And he goes, it's because you have big tits, because he can't lie. So that's truth, right? The big titted get a lot of artificial sweetness. Cute. They get a lot of sugar in their life. That's cute. But, my jars, I'm going to give you a hot Talia tip. You don't need a trust fund and a Bev Hills surgeon to attract a very nice sweetness into your fucking orbit. It's called this. Okay, cuties? It's called a fucking smile. It's called a smize with the masky eyes. There are no bad neighborhoods. There are just you walking around without a fucking smile on your face. Okay, cuties? I swear it to Brava. You try this experiment. It's called fucking mirror neurons. It's real. You make a face at people like this one, and they will fucking smile back. And your whole day fucking shifts. And I'm not just saying this to be like positivity, please. This is dark art of manipulation, my cuties. This is get what the fuck you want in life or use for good, whatever you want. Okay, cuties, that's on you. How you use the tips I give. But this is just fucking truth. It's science, mirror neurons, and it's a feedback loop. You start to feel better. Okay, cuties? And then you're just dumb and happy in your orbit. So if you want a dumb, happy orbit, smile, cuties. We're going to talk about bad neighborhoods. One, before we get into that, one, every person is their own planet. Hello, do we know that? Obviously, okay, cuties? So fucking multiverse. And so to master the art of conversation and persuasion, which conversation truly comes fucking down to, persuading all, okay, cuties? You're constantly persuading. You're constantly negotiating to get that life, my cuties, to get that life. Always assume you're speaking to the most selfish person on the planet. And if you are fulfilling your own fucking needs, you're okay with that, cuties. You're okay with that because she knows she's taking care of herself. She knows she's going to get a fucking bubble bath. She knows she's going to get a little foot rub. You know, cuties, she gets what she needs. And so every conversation, you give it to them, darlings. You assume you are speaking to because you are. Each and every human being is the most wired to seek their basic fucking needs. Scarf. Status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, fairness. Those are the basic core. Remember that acronym, my cuties. It's from David Rock. SCARF. Scarf, scarf, scarf. Everyone is seeking a core human need. They think they're talking about the job, the project. They are talking to you because they're hoping that in this 5-minute interaction, they're going to get status. They're going to get certainty. They're going to get a sense of autonomy, a relatedness feeling, or a sense of fairness. Okay, cuties? And once you know what they fucking want, you just hand it over on a platter, and then you move along with your long game focus or where the fuck you're going. Where you're going with your orbit. Okay, darlings? Every person is a planet, and that means they are fucking all about their leader. They feel they are the queen. They are the king, and you give it to them. You fucking let them have that. Speak as if you're always speaking to the most selfish person in the world. Okay, cuties? Give it up. Be willing to surrender the little games for the long game. All right, darlings? Owning your orbit. Smile or get fake tits. Okay, cuties? Let's establish the fact that we have this power to affect our orbit, period, the fuck in. Okay, so cuties, we're going to talk about bad neighborhoods. So, there are no bad neighborhoods. There's just your fucking paranoia. You're fucking you're fucking being afraid of poor people. Okay, cuties? So, she grew up in what Chris Rock, he talked about it in his stand-up special, and I would love to do a Chris Rock impression, but we all have seen the 30 Rock. Okay, cuties? We know she cannot do it. So just imagine the 30 Rock the Chris Rock impression in your mind. Okay, cuties? We all hear his voice. So, Chris Rock talked about my hometown in his stand-up special because it was named the best place to raise a biracial child. So he was like, Montclair, New Jersey. Okay, cuties, best place to raise a biracial child. It was written up whatever the New York Times, whatever the fucking people believe. Okay, cuties? It was a lie. It was a lie. Maybe it was the best place in America to raise a biracial child, but it was not a fucking good place to. And here's the reason. Because the fucking white people with the Ralph Nader bumper stickers, fucking immigration lawyer, okay, cutie, still making his fucking child feel afraid of the black neighborhood. Okay, cuties? So she lived right on the boundary. Like, there was a literal line. Okay, cuties? It's called Harrison Avenue. Here was my house, black neighborhood, white neighborhood. Okay, cuties? And I remember vividly, there was this little bitch came over to my house. I would love to say her name because she ditched me in middle school. Her dad was an immigration lawyer. Okay, cuties? Literally did have the Nader fucking bumper. Okay, cuties? She's walking around my town with me, like my neighborhood, my street with me. We went down to the corner store. Little bitch is shaking in her fucking shoes. It's not her fault. I had a heart for that little 10-year-old. Okay, cuties? She was afraid. What was she afraid of? Poor people, black people. That is what you do when you say it's a fucking bad neighborhood. Put on a smile and own your fucking orbit, assholes. Okay, cuties? So that's all she wanted. And I am sad for the children who grew up in that town and missed the opportunity to have this rich environment, right, cuties? We had the opportunity to have an actual experience of cross-pollination racially and economically. And instead, motherfuckers were so unaware of creating their own orbit and creating the vibe and actually being able to open up and be welcoming. That they moved their little paranoid asses to Montclair, New Jersey to raise a little like woke white girl, and then they fucked it up. Okay, darlings, that's all she wrote on that. So, your fear. Are you creating an atmosphere of fear around you? Okay, cuties, people can smell that shit, just like the guy who sat next to me. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. They've done studies. Body odor from working out does not smell bad. The sweat that smells bad is the one from nervousness. So if you're like nervous in CrossFit because like you have a crush on some boy that you're like trying to boo up, you're gonna smell bad. But if you're just working out at CrossFit and you're like looking cute in your new Lulus, which I've got in the tee, it's like the pants I need to buy, and your butt is lifted and they're compressed, and you're just working out but you're at ease because you're so chill, by jars, you're gonna smell delish even if you're drenched in glitter, sweat glitter. Okay. Leadership contagion. We're getting into this, my darlings. A leader has an outsized effect on a group. Okay, cuties. So like, you know, certain places you go, it just feels shittier. It feels good. It oftentimes is a very much a trickle effect of the person who's fucking in charge. Okay, cuties. One thing I'll note: if people have power, they like power. So when you're thinking and talking to persuading those in power. They like it. Okay, cutie, so give it up. So, Jars, leadership. Anytime that a leader has reign, they can have an outsized effect on the feeling of the other. This has been studied. It's called leadership contagion. The emotional state of the leader has a direct and outsized effect on the others. And I will say, Dolly Parton said, if your behavior inspires others, I can't remember, to have big tits and live a dream life, whatever, you're a great leader. If you make people feel good, you're a great leader. And so, my darlings, in your orbit, sit from wherever you sit. Your magnetism is real. If you get up to such a high vibe that you just feel fucking delicious, you're going to affect those around you. And, my darlings, I will go so far as to say that then you are the leader. So we all have our role. We all have our JOB, as they say in the MLM community. They like to be like, don't talk about JOBs. Join our cult. So we all have a role, right, cuties? We all have roles, many roles. And some of them may not seem to be leaderful. Some of them might feel like, hey, I'm at the bottom of this fucking pyramid. Okay, cuties? And the crossing guard in my town had more of an effect on the children than the math teacher. I'll say it again. The crossing guard in our town had more of an effect on the math teachers. Her name was Trish. She made dolls. She was amazing. She like sewed dolls. She was a fucking leader. Every day she had a big ass smile on her face. She made kids feel amazing. She boosted her fucking self-esteem. And we loved her. And I don't know anything about... I literally can't remember a single one of my math teachers' names right now. Not a soul. Not one of them. Fucking Pythagorean theorems. Go sit your ass down. I do remember one girl though. She would always be like, okay, bitch, get out of here with your chalky hands. All right, Trish was the bomb. Yeah, 90s reference to lingo. I've been waiting my whole life to like let the bomb just like roll off the tongue, and it's like 20 years too late. So, my darlings, this is the point. Leadership contagion is real, and reverse is also true. If you are changing the vibe, you are a leader. So, also note that, like, we can give ourselves, you know, they say self-promotion. I say self-promotion by, like, give yourself a promotion in terms of your real fucking job, because you might be like, well, my actual job is I'm a barista, but my real job is I'm a fucking therapist. My, you know, written down job is I'm an assistant, but my real job is a family counselor. Okay, I'm just saying different versions of therapist, because mostly what we do for each other is fucking therapy. All right, Dars. So she had a day in town. She experienced her orbit. She smiled at some locals who were giving her, like, I got a little, you know, sass look at the car. Someone was driving. They gave me a little sass look. Or so I perceived. And I just decided, because I was thinking about this transmutation, my darlings, and what I teach, I do. I went, and they went, and now we're best friends. I'll never see them again, but it was a beautiful interaction. High quality connections, darlings. Look it up, HQC. These are short, iterative moments. It could happen in a micro moment, and it makes both people feel better. Okay, cuties? And you feel fucking full. You feel fucking cup filled over. So you don't need to have like a dinner party with like all your beloved friends and they're all rich and famous and like then you have like your sexy husband. You don't need to have all these aspirational connections, my darlings. Like, you know, the fantasy dinner party game where you like are like, I can't tell Oprah and Russell Brand. That would be my fantasy dinner party. Okay, cuties? You don't need to have that to have high quality connections, to have the grocery store moments. Okay, cuties? The trouble is that we want to hold on. We want to keep people in our orbit. But if we actually start to see our universe as this wide network of human beings and animals and plants and dogs, Sasha, my new dog friend, who come and go, and noticing how people feel in your orbit and taking ownership of that, bitches, that is the work. Okay, Doris. That's all she wrote. Own your orbit. And, my darlings, you are the center of your orbit, which means you have to be oh so magnetizing, oh so deeply gravitational. Call it all the fuck in, because if it's not called into you, it is not yours. And then you're just reachy hands, which we know is the root of all evil, is that grabbing for which is not ours. Sit back, feel your power, own your magnetism, and own your fucking orbit. That's all she wrote from her tiny farm in Waimanalo. Oh, so many vowels, and I'm the ultimate howly, which is called like white chick, because I can't pronounce literally Niente in Hawaii, like Niente. No street name have I ever said correctly. Okay, that's all she wrote.